It has been a long time since I made a video about the Black Plasma SMP, and needless to say, a lot has gone down. From the very beginning, my plan had been to build a great democratic nation, and I'd started it off by forming the Fekrador clan, but I now realized I had to take it one step further, and build a republic. It was now time for the nation of Fekrador to rise. The Fekrador clan was growing apart. Seams had formed for ages, and I was beginning to grow apart from my initial allies, Dibster Plays and R309. R309 eventually decided he would form his own clan, Mundi Remor, and although it would still be allied with Fekrador, it would not be a part of it. I was beginning to feel my allies slip away, but thankfully, I still had more people to rely on. Of course, there was my brother, Jake, but he didn't really come on the server much. Beyond him, I mainly had two friends on the server, XDinoX and the Best Bean. I knew these people would be essential in forming the nation. Bean was a big cookie person. He owned a bakery in the desert where he mass-produced cookies, and he would then distribute them to everyone. But this space wasn't just for cookies, it was for a lot of things. He was absolutely stacked, so he was definitely a good ally to have. Bean allowed me to use his resources, so I decided to build the base for Fekrador a little ways away from his. I would later access the nether roof so I could get from my place to his in a matter of moments. So, I got to work on building my country, and days later, finally, it had been complete. The Republic of Fekrador was rising on the horizon. All I needed to do was hold an election. The will of the people is a firm belief of mine. I could not instill myself as leader of my own country. I would be betraying my very principles, and we already had an empire on the server. My country was supposed to be an escape from that, so I decided I would have to hold an election and make sure the people would vote for the best candidate. There was one other ally of mine who I thought could run for president, so I asked Dino if she could compete against me in the election. She agreed. I went around giving books and quills to various server members, asking them to pick between the two of us. I received 5 votes in total, and on January 8th, I read aloud the results. This was the inauguration of Fekrador. I wanted to form something that was a little bit of an escape from what we already had on the server, because we had this big, huge empire from Fadeless Banjo, and he was imposing a lot of rules on people, you know? Just kind of like, you know, just authority stuff, you know, the usual. Yeah. I wanted a democracy. We start off with classy plants vote. Let me read this out loud. So just to be clear, none of these could be edited after they were signed by the people who voted. I specifically made sure of that because voter fraud, kind of cringe, not gonna lie. And as official representative of the will of all trees, the Great Council has decided to vote for Posey. The Best Beans vote. Okay, so the Best Bean votes for Dino. So it's actually tied right now. It's neck and neck, 1 versus 1. So election vote. Okay, Frixion voted for me. Okay, R3 picks Dino. So it's actually 2v2. Whose vote is this? Drax Doomer. Okay, he'll decide the election. It's either going to be me or it's going to be Dino. And I feel like we're going to have the exact same principles anyway. But, you know, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, the vote is, it says it's for me. You know what, just to make sure you guys know that I'm not faking this, I'm just gonna give all of these to you. It appears I have won the election as president of Fekrador. Now that I have been sworn in as the first president of Fekrador, I would like to give some words to all of you. First of all, thank you for voting. Whether or not you voted for me, I do not care. Just thank you for voting and determining the future of this country that I hope that I won't say is great right now because it's just starting and I'm just not that kind of guy, but I hope with given time, given my best efforts, it will be a fantastic country that promotes the ideas of democracy and liberty and collective and individual prosperity, and of course, peace for our time. It is my honor to stand before all of you and have the power to ensure a better future for everyone on the SMP and do my part because of your votes. So I suppose what I really should be saying is thank you
everybody for everything. And good luck to everybody. And honestly, that's about all there is to say.
With that ceremony, I had been inaugurated as the first president of the Republic of Fekrador. I was overjoyed, but I knew I could not screw this up. I could not allow this power to get to my head, and I always had to act in the best interest of my people. I had to be practical, but I also had to be emotional. I had to be a great leader, because I had gotten myself to this position, and I was going to have to own it. My first action as president was to visit the abode of another player, Classy Plant, and ally his faction, the Plant Republic. The Plant Republic had a very unique system of government. Apparently, the entire government was run by a council of trees, and Plant himself only served as their messenger. It was definitely weird, but you know, an ally is an ally nonetheless. Plant and I agreed that we would form a coalition and invite as many people as we could. A coalition that would stand against tyranny if the Fadeless Empire ever decided to inflict its harsh boot upon us. I hoped that Fade would never do such a thing after our agreement, but there was no way of knowing for sure. Thankfully, I seemed to be on good terms with just about everyone, so I was really happy with how things were going. I had not yet really given citizenship to anybody, and of course the country would still need to be developed, but as it was, things were going very well. I had found purpose. I was now the leader of a potentially great country, one that could rise to be a bastion of democracy on a server where there was hardly any. I was proud of what I'd created, but I knew this would not be the end of it. I knew there were going to be tougher times ahead, and I would have to work through them. For Fekrador, for my people, and for the collective good of all of the server. If you enjoy my content, feel free to like and subscribe. I'm a growing channel, and honestly, every ounce of support means the world to me. You can always unsubscribe later, but really, just give it a shot, alright? With that said, that'll be all for today, and see ya!